Hi guys, today I'll be playing House Hunted, where we play as someone who's moved into a new town and is considering home ownership. Just everything, just normal. Alright, that's good. Ugh, what a long bus ride. Anything really peculiar about this? Oh. I'm glad to finally be here. You looked around yourself, taking in the surroundings, breathing in the nauseating aroma of dust, exhaust, and oil. Well, there's obviously not much to look at here at the Grey Horse bus station, but I'm sure the rest of the city is beautiful, just like the brochure said. Hopefully the apartment company was honest about having my new place ready for move-in. Quickly grabbing your modest baggage from the baggage claim, you straighten your clothes and walk towards the nearest visitor center. I've never been on a bus where they had like a storage compartment for bags. I've never seen buses like that around here where I live. There's a cafe nearby. I am starving right now and being a nice pick-me-up. I also kind of wanted to see the city. I could just wander around a little bit. I'm also pretty tired. Maybe I should just head to my apartment? Let's wander aimlessly. That doesn't sound too bad. I think it'd be fun to get the lay of the land today. Just a little walk around the area to see what's around and all. After wandering for a good hour, you find yourself at what looks to be a business district. You're shocked to see such tall skyscrapers in such a small city. You find a comfortable bench to rest and drink some water, watching the businessmen scurrying past you on the sidewalk. They all look pretty similar to one another. You notice one of them looks more out of place than the others. Instead of the hyper-focused gaze that marks the other's faces, he looks sad. You wonder about him for a minute. Oh. And suddenly a very tall, older gentleman stands directly in front of you, towering over you and staring directly into your eyes. Hello? Can I help you, sir? He stares a moment longer before adjusting his bright red blazer, brushing his hair back, only for half of it to fall right back down into his face. You're new in town, lost and wondering. You need a place to call your own? The way he talks surprised you. His voice is so smooth as if he's given this same speech a million times. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Mason Tylo, #1 realtor in all of Uncanny Valley. I can help you find your dream home today. He quickly snatched a business card from his breast pocket, only for another identical business card to pop up to take its place. He offered it out to you, his hand coming uncomfortably close to your face, making you flinch back a bit before taking it from him. Give me a call, we can set you up in a new house. Today. Guaranteed. Oh, okay. I should tell you, I already have an apartment lined up, so I don't think I'm in a place to be buying a whole house. You look so mad. That's quite alright. I'm sure you'll be giving me a call. I am the #1 realtor in all of Uncanny Valley after all. I have never had a disappointed buyer. You'll love the house I've just found for you. I'll be waiting. The strange realtor walked away before you can get a chance to argue, his long legs carrying him faster than you expected. You just shrugged up and pocketed the business card, no harm in holding onto it in case something happens with the new apartment. You decided to sit on the bench for a while longer. You know that the businessman you were contemplating is now gone. You sigh and push yourself off the bench and make your way to your new home. As you approach your new apartment complex, you feel warm in your heart. I can't help thinking about how you're finally getting a much-needed change in your life. You take a deep breath in, taking in the cool, clean air of the valley, and step forward to find your apartment number. Here it is. This is so exciting. I've been wanting my own apartment for a while. You go to turn the handle. The door doesn't budge as you twist the handle. You try again. It's locked. What the heck? They said the door would be unlocked when I got here. I should give them a call. Hello, Uncanny Valley Apartment Hunters. How may we help you? Hello? I'm supposed to move in today, but my apartment is locked? You can hear paper shuffling on the other side of the line, followed by what you can only describe as the roars of an animal you can't place. Yes, you had a little issues with your apartment, and it won't be ready until tomorrow. Our apologies. Oh no, what am I going to do now? What could the issue possibly be? Maybe you could pry more for a better explanation, but you also don't want to be rude. No, how are you going to be rude? They said they have it ready by this day. Let's persist. What do you mean something happened? I don't really have anywhere else to go. You hear the clicking of what sounds like a typewriter for a few moments, and a loud, annoyed sigh. You've been having some issues. You wait for an elaboration, but you're met with a long, awkward silence instead. Yeah, what are the issues? More typing and paper tearing? Is that a blunder? Your apartment will be ready tomorrow. Do you need anything else, you? That's just rude. You sigh defeated and look around you. There's nothing much for you to really do in this situation, besides look for a hotel. No, that's it. Thank you. Please call me as soon as my apartment is ready. Of course. Good day. With that, they hung up and left you standing in front of the building you should have already been in by now. Shoot. Now what? You shove your hands in your pockets absent-mindedly and feel the hard piece of paper crunch against your fist. You pull the paper out of your pocket and suddenly remember Mason. Right. I was lucky to afford this apartment. I can't buy a house right now. Still, it wouldn't hurt to call and see what's available. Let's look for a hotel. You decide it's probably a better idea to go find a reasonably priced hotel than waste your time with realtors. You find yourself in what seems to be the heart of the city, the many buildings and stores almost feeling as if they're closing in around you. Alright, hotel. Downtown areas usually have hotels, right? Lost, lonely. You didn't call me, you. Whoa, Mason? Were you following me? How silly. No, my dear buyer. I'm simply that good. #1 realtor in all of Uncanny Valley, after all. I'm very sure you remember this, right? You clearly need a place to go, and I have the perfect house just waiting for you to be inside of it. Weird. How do you know my name? I just stare at you, clearly refusing to answer. Listen, I'm just looking for a hotel, hotel. Make sure to really announce the word hotel to him as if he didn't understand. You really wanted to get this stiller off your back. A hotel. The tall gentleman seems to be struggling with processing what you just told him. Something was even creepier when he frowned than when he smiled, which is shocking. Oh, my dear, poor buyer. You were so confused and lost, I see. Who's not listening? Listen, just come with me. Take a look around this lovely 3-bedroom home with me. If you don't absolutely fall in love with it, I'll personally pay you for your hotel stay while I search for a house that suits your specific needs. He didn't like how his last sentence was almost a purr. But if he was being honest about paying for the hotel, what do you have to lose? You could just humor him for an hour and tell him no when he's done with his little speech. All right, Mason, you wore me down. I'll come look at this house you found for me. Perfect. I can assure you, you will love this 2-garage domicile that is just starving to meet you. Is the house going to eat us or what? You're about to question his choice of words when you're abruptly cut off from the sensation of a long, bony hand wrapped around your forearm, almost dragging along with him as they headed towards God knows where. Maybe you made a mistake. It felt like you had been walking for an hour in awkward silence, struggling to keep up with the strange realtor, long and fast strides when he finally stopped abruptly, forcing you to bump roughly into his back. You didn't budge at all from the force of your weight against his back. You jumped back, trying to hide the red of your cheeks from your embarrassment. Sorry. You looked over at the huge house before you, the for sale sign glaringly obvious on the curb. This is a house? Oh, do you see something you like after all? I'm not surprised. This house is in very good condition. You don't think I can seriously afford this place, right? This place is huge. Quite the flatterer, I see. I assure you the price is very reasonable and I'm willing to haggle greatly. The seller is simply looking to sell fast. You look back at the house, something had to be up with this. It was sounding more and more fishy the more this realtor talked it up. Okay, what's the catch then? Catch? Yeah, come on man. Why is the seller trying to get rid of this beautiful house? Is someone dying in it or something? Of course not. His pause worried you greatly, but you're pretty sure you read somewhere that realtors had to disclose that information to you or something, right? Doesn't mean they have to. Doesn't mean they abide by that. Time to come inside and take a look around. No strings attached? You'll love it when you see the insides. You won't be able to walk away from the deal like this, dear buyer. Something definitely felt wrong about all this, but you're already here. Man, let's go inside. You know, what got hurt? Alright, let's go check it out then. Don't get your hopes up, Mr. Tylo. Oh, I have no doubts that you'll be insanely attached when you see it. He roughly grabs your arms again, his sharp fingernails digging in roughly as you follow him up the concrete walkway to the bright red door. How long have you been searching for a buyer for this place? You decide to ask to lighten the move up a little bit. You notice Mason staring intently ahead to the door, his eyes looking almost hungry as he ushers you through the door and into the living room. Oh, this place is pretty nice. You look around at the stand-in furniture and run your fingers along the couch. Oh? It's warm. In fact, the whole place feels really uncomfortably warm and humid. Hey, do you think you could turn on the AC or something? It's a bit hot in here. It's a little hard to focus. Do you absolutely love this house? It's a little early for that. I haven't seen any of the other rooms. Ugh, I don't feel very good. Can I sit down? Oh, by all means, make yourself comfortable, dear buyer. You stumble ahead, the room spinning around you. You grab onto the couch to steady yourself and see the walls melting around you. Ugh, what the hell? Oh, what's the matter, dear buyer? Are my guts alarming? Please don't fret. I promise it'll be quick enough. My enzymes will be sure to knock you out before the digestion processes become too unbearable. What are you... You try to steady yourself, but Mason grabs you roughly by the throat and throws you down, pressing you hard against the floor. You try in vain to keep yourself propped up, your eyes growing heavier and your nostrils filling up with a sickly, sweet smell engulfing the room. Just relax, dear buyer. You're going to make my value skyrocket. He was pressing his body against you hard, making sure your face was against the floor. It was warm and kind of soft. You started letting your eyes slowly close as tiredness and the sickly smell lulled you to sleep. Maybe this wasn't so bad, you thought. You're so tired and just didn't want to fight anymore. You could feel a stinging sensation against your exposed skin, burning you slowly, but you didn't have the energy to fight Mason or the house anymore. Or maybe you should say Mason the house. You finally let your eyelids drop, breathing in slowly and deep for the last time as the house slowly digested you. I died. Okay, I'm gonna choose to head straight to my apartment. I'm so beat from the 6-hour bus drive. I should just head to the apartment and order a pizza or something. The classic move-in food. As you approach your new apartment complex, you feel warm in your heart and can't stop thinking about how you're finally getting a much-needed change in your life. Take a deep breath in, take in the cool, clean air of the valley and step forward to find your apartment number. Here it is. Can we open it? Oh, it still doesn't budge. It's locked. Okay, so it still ends up... Okay, and this guy, he still shows up. Or you can pull out your phone. A very tall older gentleman stands directly in front of you, towering over you and staring directly into your eyes. Hello? Can I help you, sir? He stares a moment longer before adjusting his blood-red blazer, flashing his shockingly white teeth at you. It's a smile that makes you feel a little nauseous, but you're not sure why. You're new in town, lost and wondering, you need a place to call your own. The way he talked surprised you. His voice was so smooth as if he's given the same speech a million times. Allow me to introduce myself. Okay. You look so sleazy, like... Okay, oh thank you. I already have an apartment set up to move in. I'm just having a little issue today is all. You look so freaked out. That's quite alright. It should be a good call. Alright. No, well, let's take the initiative and call Mason ourselves. Yeah, I don't see the harm in blowing some time looking at pretty houses on the river Ford. At least it's something to do. Ringing for a long time. No answer. So much for being the #1 realtor in Uncanny Valley. Oh, okay. Hello, and thank you for your call. Are you ready to see your dream house today? Were you just waiting here for me to call you? How ridiculous! I am simply the best in the city, always waiting for a prospective buyer's call. I'm always ready to show you your brand new life. This guy was starting to worry you greatly, but he was already here. It'd be rude to ask him to leave. You know what? Let's change our mind. Why not? Actually, I think I might just go look for a hotel. I'm really sorry to make you come all the way out here. I'm just not interested in buying a whole house yet. He stared at you for several uncomfortable moments, a sickly grin seeming more full of malice than it previously did. Finally, he brought his hands from behind his back, straightening up his coat even more and adjusting his little house-shaped label pin. I'll be waiting for your call, my dear buyer. And with that, he turned and walked away briskly. It felt relieving to see him finally leave. Now you can finally go back to figuring out what you should do next. Okay, this guy was such a weirdo. Okay, you finally right at the heart of the city, the sounds of the city ringing in your ears and enveloping you. You're thankful the Uncanny Valley isn't a huge city and has a warm, quaint feeling to it. You began to search the many building signs for a hotel. Finally, you found one, sticking out like a beautiful white beacon. You rush in quickly and ring the little bell for service and check in. Finally find your room, tears filling your eyes upon seeing the big, soft bed nestled in the center of the room. You quickly shed your shoes and jump on top of it with your entire body, letting yourself slowly sink into the plush mattress. I'm so tired. I can't wait to sleep in my own room, but right now, this is the best feeling I've ever felt. You slowly let yourself drift off, your body feeling as if it's being enveloped by a warm marshmallow. Think about where your life is going and smile to yourself, knowing that you made it. You have an apartment waiting, you moved all by yourself, and the gas station approved your application. What? Okay, I lived. Alright. I checked in. Perfect. I'm just happy that we lived. Okay, so now to get 2 more endings. Alright, let's head on over to the cafe. Yeah, I think if I go any longer without eating something, I'll collapse. Coffee also sounds great right about now. Finally make your way to the nearest cafe. It's small and quaint, and hear the chatter of random patrons inside. You slowly step into the cafe, taking in the smooth, rich smell of brewing coffee and the sweet scent of the baked goods. It makes your stomach growl even louder and prompts you to rush up to the counter to place your order as quickly as you can. After placing your order and snatching up your dinner for the day, you scurry over to the bird's table away from anyone else to scarf them all down. The coffee is thick and strong and slides down your throat slower than you expected. It's an odd sensation, but strangely not bad. Cake is an equally odd experience. You decide on coffee cake, but the flavor seems to be different with every bite you take, and it makes it hard to get used to eating it. There's also strange hard bites throughout it that pop and sizzle like pop rocks, but it tastes like cinnamon. You're so hungry right now though, you can just deal with the weird food and focus on just getting it all in your stomach as quickly as possible. And he's here! After focusing on your food, you don't notice the older looking gentleman sat down at the table in front of you. Oh! I didn't notice you. Hello? Can I help you? The strange man adjusted his burning red blazer and cleared his throat. His movements were so odd and stiff, as if he was made of cardboard. Alright, that same old dialogue. The same creepy smile. Okay, you quickly finish up your food and beverage, making sure to leave a nice tip on the table before heading out to the apartment. And our apartment door is locked. That's That's so stupid. It's like they're working with this guy. May I help you? And they're gonna make up some bullshit of a reason. Oh, well, they didn't even give us a reason. What am I saying? Okay, let's be cooperative with Mason and just call him and be like, yes, we'll just follow you and listen to whatever you say. Well, he says, basically. I like how we all don't question this. Like, do we not have a sense of, like, danger? We'll just go with him. Yeah, I mean, there's no harm in going with him. It's just trying to do his job, right? He may be a bit pushy, but realtors are always like that. No, they're not. Alright, Mason, let's go look at this house. Oh, I knew you would choose the right answer, dear buyer. Let's go right there then. The house is simply dying to meet you. What? Before you can properly ask him why he phrased it so oddly, you feel him roughly grab you by the upper arm, dragging you along with him down the street. Feels like you've been walking for an hour in awkward silence, struggling to keep up with the strange realtor's long, fast strides. Okay, so let's just go inside. I don't know why Mason. He reminds me of a Venus flytrap of everything I can think of. Oh, so he helps guide us. You shakily stumble over to the couch, your hands helplessly grasping at the warm leather. You gasp, surprised as Mason grabs you by the shoulders, guiding you to the middle of the couch and helping you sit down. You try to steady yourself, rubbing your head in an attempt to stop the sickening vertigo. Can you maybe crack a window or something? It's getting really hot. I don't know what's wrong with me. You know something that's a terrible shame, dear buyer? You glance up at the room still wobbling around you, making it more and more difficult to stay upright. What? I was beginning to enjoy your company. It's not often I find such a responsive buyer, and it does become awfully benign simply eating everyone who comes over. You always have difficulty processing the melting walls around you, becoming more and more organic and even meaty in texture. You start to notice the strange, sickly sweet smell that you hadn't noticed a moment ago. Breathing in it makes you even more dizzy, and you slowly slump down on the warm, fleshy-like couch. Eat? Ah, yes, you're new in town. This must have been very confusing for you, correct? That's alright, you don't need to talk. I will simply explain the situation. After all, I am Uncanny Valley's #1 realtor, and I have been doing this for a very long time. It's almost been decades since I found someone so receptive, and the other folks here in Uncanny Valley hate explaining anything. A very lucky chance you met me first. You feel Mason crawl over you onto the couch, his hands placed carefully next to your head as he leaned in close to speak in your ear. You felt extremely warm to the touch as his skin brushed against yours. You see, your dear buyer, being the #1 realtor comes with its responsibilities. I'm not like the other realtors you see. I take great care in what I do, unlike those who simply want a quick snack. It became so hard here in the Uncanny Valley to find buyers. The other realtors have taken to simply snatching and running. Quite barbaric, wouldn't you agree? Lacey gently cupped your cheeks as he spoke. You were shocked that he was being so kind. You could feel him nodding your head for you in agreement to what he was saying. No, my value is much, much higher. I find only the finest buyers who incorporate into something much greater than themselves. I can't just have any tenants to eat, now can I? I have my standards, and I will not stoop to such low behaviors. You weakly nod your head yourself with his help, not entirely comprehending what he was saying or talking about, his words sounding further and further away as your body grew heavier and felt as if you were sinking into the meat of the couch. I just knew you understand. I suppose since we're getting ever so close now, I could drop my own facade. It does get tired controlling all this, albeit quite handsome and cumbersome little lure. He watched as Mason's eye grew dimmer and his body felt limp, still being held up by something, but his limbs no longer retaining their rigidity. Quite impressive, isn't it? With such an attractive lure, it became quite easy to bring in such tasty prospective buyers the old-fashioned way. I suppose it's just my luck to be so gorgeous naturally. It's clearly no wonder how I became the #1 realtor, right, dearest buyer? Not really, but okay. You brutally watched as Mason was yanked backwards and up towards the fleshy lamp on the ceiling. You noticed the umbilical cord-like rope protruding from his neck as he hung there limply. You wanted to scream, cry, or anything, but your body was totally paralyzed at this point, and all I could feel was a growing burning sensation as something hot slowly seeped through your clothes and onto your skin. I truly wish I could make the digestion process slower than this. I truly do, dearest buyer. I would greatly enjoy some stimulating conversation. Alas, this is how it simply is and always has been. I have not eaten in quite some time. Perhaps in another world, another time, we could have spent more time in each other's company. I'm sure you understand that one must eat, though, and I am truly grateful to you, dear buyer. Mason's voice was no longer coming from his limp, lifeless body, but instead sounded as if it was coming from the very walls around you. You could hear him sigh wistfully, and the walls looked as if they were breathing along with it. I will always think of you, long after you become a part of me. You finally allowed your heavy eyelids to close as you sunk deeper against the warm couch. You could feel the meaty fabric of the couch moving to cover you up like a soft blanket, almost tucking you in as you let yourself slip into a sleep you'd never wake up from again. I died. Offer accepted. Okay, I'm just gonna leave. I'm not gonna go up on his offer. Let's leave. You can't just shake the nervous feeling and decide it'd be better to get out of here. You're sure he'll understand. You weren't planning to buy it anyway. Listen, Mr. Taylor, I think we're going to have to drop out of the walkthrough. I don't want to lead you on to a sale after all. I'm sure you'll find someone who'll love this place. Yeah, so I'm going to go now. I'm so sorry for wasting your time. I'll hold on to your card, so I'll be sure to call you when I'm ready to buy. I appreciate your time. Mason just stared at you for a few moments before walking backwards towards the house, stepping carefully down the concrete path and through the door, his head peeking out for a few moments to sadly plead to you before disappearing. You could have sworn you heard a little rumbling growl emitting from the house before you left. What the hell? This reminds me of the movie Monster House, where the house was alive. I think it was an old man living there, right? With his wife? Man, I forgot what the movie was about. I forgot the premise of the movie. Maybe I'll look at it later. It felt like hours before you finally made your way back into the city. You were so tired you had to find a hotel as soon as possible. You jumped at the sound of your phone suddenly ringing in your pocket and quickly answered it, fumbling with the touchscreen. Hello, you? Ah, yes, that's me. How can I help you? Ah, yes, we solved that little issue we were having. So if you would like to go ahead and go to the apartment, it's all ready for you. Oh my gosh, really? That's great news. Thank you. I'll head right there right now. We look forward to your business, and remember, Uncanny Valley Apartment Company is dedicated to finding the perfect home for you. All realtor free guaranteed since 1992. Oh man, they're another one of those realtors. Just hope the apartment doesn't eat you. And click. You didn't have time to think about their odd tagline. You were just happy you could finally go home and rest your weary head and lay off your poor sore feet. You were just excited to get home. You rushed through the streets of the city. Dag. You couldn't wait to just get some sleep. It's been one long day. That's John Doe. So this game and John Doe are connected. Doe-eyed. So we're the person in John Doe that John Doe fell in love with. And we ended up being stuck in a loop with him. Oh, that's cool. And the games are connected. Just for seeing us, he just fell in love. Dang. Maybe it would have been better for us to be eaten by the realtor. Not gonna lie. But yeah, that's the end of. I got all 4 endings. You know, the ones where he lived. The last doe-eyed one, I don't think that's good. The one with the hotel is the best ending for me, personally. Because we were in the hotel and we lived and we're just fine and dancing and whatnot. But yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Bye.